Bowling today is quite a bit different than it was 25 years ago. It's basically in two parts. On the competitive level, as in the PBA Tour and other competitive events, it's a lot harder to be successful than it was years ago. There's a lot more that goes into the game: lane patterns, ball layouts, different cores, different covers. But on a league level, it's a lot easier than it used to be. 25 years ago, 300 was a premium, and now it seems like nobody even stops to watch anybody bowl 300. Averaging 240, 230 is something that's the norm, and it's sad. I do think people will bowl a lot less because of the easy lane conditions. The challenge in the game isn't there anymore. I fell in love with bowling because as a kid I wanted to be like my dad and my grandfather, and they bowled 3-4 nights a week. They were always in the bowling center, and they brought me along, and that's how I fell in love with the game. I wanted to be just like them, and here I am today. What matters to me most about bowling is the challenge that is involved in the game. Every day I have to learn something new, and I have to get better at it, and that drives me to keep working and to practice harder and to keep my mind open to new things. The trend of people not bowling because lanes are going to be easy is going to be tough to change because people are so used to averaging a certain amount, and their egos have gotten in the way of the sport. I think it's something that's going to be a slow and long process, but it needs to change, and there needs to be something done about the lane conditions these days. There has to be something that we can do to let people know that the sport is in danger, and if people keep averaging 230 and 240, that the sport is going to evaporate at a league level, and unless it goes back to some form of a challenge, we're all going to be hurting here in 10-15 years. People have such a false sense of how good they are, and a lot of guys that are bowling league and they're averaging really high, they think that they're better than the pros, because on tour, a good average for a year is 220, 222. And the guys at home are averaging 15 pins higher than us, and they think that they're better than us because of what their average is, and it's so not true. And we see it every year on tour, and people come out and bowl the World Series bowling and the U.S. Open, and they come out and they're their best guy in the league. They average 240, and they can't bowl a 200 game out here. So I think that people need to pay attention a little bit more and need to be educated a little more about the game. I don't agree with putting colored oil out there. Only maybe for TV purposes. I think if you put it out there and so people can see it while they're bowling, it actually does make it a little bit easier to see. But as far as TV, if they could come out with something that just showed up on TV to show the people at home, what it is that we're actually bowling on, that would be beneficial. Even though you post what the lane pattern is and how the length, there's still a lot more that goes into how you play the lanes. So yeah, I think it should be posted what the lane pattern is. When you go to a golf course, they tell you exactly how many yards the course is. You don't have to figure it out. You're not guessing how long a certain hole is. So why should it be any different in our sport? We should have some sort of idea what we're getting ourselves into. Plain and simple, the hammer balls are the best balls in the market, and I think my career has proven that. I didn't have any PBA titles until I signed with Hammer. Now I have 3 titles, and I have a U.S. Open title, and I compete in every single event. I think that the proof of the balls is in my performance. to me, when I put it on, it's loyalty, and that's what I see from Hammer, and that's what I've seen in the past 2.5 years that I've been on staff. And if it was up to me, I would retire as a Hammer player. My fondest memory as a kid growing up bowling was I bowled a doubles league with my brother, and I was 15 and he was 12 at the time. And one game we bowled 596 as a doubles team, and unfortunately for him, he was the one that got 6 in the last ball, and I think that attributed him to him quitting bowling because I outshined him. But that is my fondest memory, and being able to share that with my brother is something I'll never forget. The first hammer balls that I ever had was the purple 3D offset and the purple nail were the first couple of balls that I remember from the Hammer brand. And when I was 15, 16 years old, those are basically the only balls I used. I think as a kid, I liked the Hammer logo on the side of the ball, and I knew what that brand stood for, and it had such a rich history that I think watching everybody around me throw Hammer products, I figured these balls got to be better than everybody else. That system makes way more sense than the standard handicap. I think I've been saying it for years that there needs to be some sort of way to rate people on what they're bowling on, just so they have an idea. And if that goes with making certain leagues that way, to where they're if you do it in tiers or whatever needs to happen, I think that a different handicap and rating system needs to happen. Yeah, it would make for a lot more competitive handicap events. In a true sense of a handicap event. There's a lot of guys out there with super inflated averages, and they actually shouldn't be getting pins when they go to events, and that might discourage them from bowling events, because they're bowling against guys who are a lot better than them, but their averages are actually the same. The current handicap system is not a measurement at all of the skill of the player. I mean, if they came out on tour and they based the handicap on 230, and someone out here was averaging 215, and they were bowling someone at home who was averaging 230, and now that guy's giving the tour player pins, it's totally unfair. Yeah, definitely. There'd be a ton missing in my life. I love the sport. I love the competitiveness. I love everything about it. I love throwing a strike when I need it. All of it adds up to just tremendous love for the game.